and first to start by thanking His Excellency the President, William Samoei Arap Ruto, for having assured us severally that CBC is going nowhere and that we shall be working around to ensure that it survives. And I think this was brought about by the fact that we are all aware that now we have 10 million children who have engaged in this manner. I also want to thank His Excellency the President for having pronounced himself that it is better to focus on the child. And my first charge to the members of the committee is that for whatever decisions that you are going to make, the constant shall be the child. And if you do so, Your Excellency, this very eminent Presidential Working Party will succeed without prejudice. The second minor point I want to make, and this is with all humility and due respect, and I'm glad that Professor Raphael Munavu and I have a past. He was my Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of Administration and Finance at the University of Nairobi when I was a firebrand senior lecturer. And he proceeded on to become Vice Chancellor Moi University, and I also proceeded on to become the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi for 10 years. So we have many things in common, and therefore the President's wisdom for appointing Professor Munavu to chair this task force is thoroughly lauded by the Ministry of Education. The reason is this. When you are doing an experiment, you don't start doing an experiment whose answer you already know. And I want to charge, the second charge I'm charging the members of the task, because I know that they are eminent scholars and stakeholders. In order to assist His Excellency the President in doing what he has to do, more specifically with the basic education sector, can we go into the unknown, get results, analyze them, and take them to him? Don't start from an answered point of view, where now you are working from what you want to bring to him. You shall not have helped him. And I'm doing this with all humility, having been a scientist who is very well published over the years and who is going back to academia. Ladies and gentlemen, that thing I want to say about President William Samoei, President William, you can understand why, because the other one was there for 24 years. William Samoei Arap Ruto. The short time I have worked with him and my assessment of him without prejudice is that he is somebody who listens and takes views, including those he didn't want to hear. And I'm telling you this here because I'm a very strange person. I add no political value to anybody. I am a thoroughbred technocrat. My value is in service and profession. So I'm free to talk the way I talk, because I have no political value to add. I only add the work and the efficiency and the delivery. So since the President is somebody who is going to, and he's also an academic, I was involved with him when he was doing his master's degree, and he went further and did PhD. So we are not writing a report to somebody who went to Kanyanyaini Primary School. So I would like to encourage you to use your intellectual power, because the brain power, Your Excellency, Deputy President, the brain, if you want your brain to sleep, it will sleep. If you want your brain to think so that you can add value to our children, then you will think. So I'm hoping that I don't want to pronounce myself more than that in the basic education sector, because my sentiments are known, and it is not my intention to repeat them here. But allow me, Your Excellency, to say one or two things about the university sector, which is the sick child in the room. Having been a minister for now 3.5 years, I have found out that since the government was not reorganized, it is still one minister, the basic education sector takes 85% of the time. and therefore university and TVET share the remaining 15%. And that has allowed all Kamaus and Onyangos to be experts in university matters, even people who don't know anything about universities. So my third charge to this committee is to look at universities without prejudice, remove the politician, remove the fake experts, because you cannot be an expert if you don't belong to the university system. What is it that is ailing our country? What do we want to remember President Ruto for as far as the university sector is concerned? And I can talk with full authority because this is where my strength is. We have people asking for universities to be created for political reasons, people who don't even know what a university is. If you go to the Oxfords of this world, a single university with 38 colleges. Are we together? Single university with 38 colleges across the country. Why are we having 3-4 universities in a township? And then you make it worse by creating other branches in other townships. And everybody is quiet because it is not politically correct. I think His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto has given you the opportunity as the technocrats to pronounce yourself on this matter. I want to see whether you are bold enough, because the universities are dying because they are underfunded and they are thoroughly fragmented. They are dying because they are underfunded and they are thoroughly fragmented. The only university that I know is the University of Nairobi, and my Vice Chancellor is here, Professor Gitai Kiama. Thank you very much. The others are also trying to get there. But do we then pull down the University of Nairobi and Moi University to another level to be the same as Kanyanyaini University, where I come from? So if you are bold enough, you might give His Excellency the President good enough advice. If you are politically correct, you will just be a statistic. And I think it is good for me to say so, Professor Munavo, because you are a university person, but I don't know whether you are still bold enough. Because what the President wants, as I end, Your Excellency, I have always believed when I was the Vice Chancellor, that my best advisors were the ones who told me things I didn't want to hear. So when I'm sleeping and I wake up at 4 o'clock and I reflect, then I find that is the way I'm going to go. When people tell you, yes, sir, this is a... Those are stupid idiots, because when the brain is thinking, then you must differ, isn't it? As intellectuals, you must differ. So I think the President has given you an opportunity to reform the university sector. A lot of investment, finally, Your Excellency, has been put in the TVET sector. The last charge as an outgoing minister to this committee, what are we going to do in order to change the mindset of our people? That success is not by going to the university.